All right. Everything seems to be good. Everything seems to be in order. Let's start this. So last time I was actually completing the detailing part of the upper leg, which means we're pretty much like soon finished with the whole upper leg detailing. Well, actually, the whole leg detailing. Um, that goes without saying that I will always reserve myself the possibility to come back on any part of the model to fix anything that maybe I find that uh, like can be improved. What I'm doing right now is it's a lot of like going through the motions, right? Going through the motions of the whole process, and um, I find that when you get into like a pattern, like a certain vibe, you can actually go through your sculpt really quickly. It doesn't mean that you will be the most innovative, but it's kind of like more like second nature, trying to get as quickly as possible to like a result that looks good. And basically, that's what I'm trying to do with this character right now. The whole idea of continuing the Insectoid series alongside these three gentlemen there, um, these three gentlemen, I should say. The goal is to basically just repeat kind of like a technique that I know so I can go relatively quickly during the streams. That being said, uh, when I'll be done going through the motions, like I was saying, I'll probably look at it again, go back on the character and try to maybe like improve some parts that maybe I've went too quickly and that sort of stuff. But generally, when I say that I'm almost done with the leg, it basically means that like yeah, I would be happy with this result, let's say. How did you make this kind of cable on your leg? Just go see the videos from before. I explain it in there. Hello, Andrew. It's basically just a simple cable with like a nano mesh of a X. But to have a more precise explanation, yeah, I'd rather you just go see the videos from before on our YouTube page. And so for those who wants to know how to access our YouTube page, it is fairly simple. You go on chaosmasons.com. At the bottom here, you have, oops, at the bottom, Jesus. All right. At the bottom here, you have a few links. YouTube, let's just see a few of our other things. Of course, like usual, we have the shop, we have a Gumroad if you want to buy anything. We have the link tree links. In this link, you can pretty much have access to any other thing that's relevant to Chaos Masons. And of course, top right shop if you want to buy either collectibles or some more tutorials. There's actually a new tutorial coming soon, by the way, so yeah. All right. I don't think I'm going to do a low res, like a record myself doing a low res of a character. First of all, it's not what I prefer to do. I don't feel like I actually have anything to teach in regards to low mesh and such. So I'm probably just gonna stick to high res and some of like design explanation, of course, comes with. Right now, I'm just fixing. I just saw there was like a hole in the mesh here. Might as well fix it now. All right. So. There's a few areas around the upper leg that I just want to add a few more details, and I will be ready to call it done. So let's just hide a few meshes to make this whole scene lighter. And let's jump back into the detailing of the leg. My goal today is to finish this detailing here and maybe start separating a few other elements of the upper body. Yeah, maybe at some point I'll do some design from scratch, but when I do those, I tend to just go like I tend to need a lot of concentration, and I'm not sure how much I would be comfortable at the moment doing it on Twitch, but maybe eventually I will. I know people would appreciate it, so that's why I'm considering it. Although, yeah. In the first video I did of that series, which was actually the pretty much the first video, first Twitch, I actually explained a bit of my design mentality behind shape, shape exploration and whatnot. So although I know that you would probably be more interested into like seeing me do a actual session of concepting, just to let you know that there is some pretty interesting information there. Pretty basic, but interesting nonetheless. Also, I'm really happy of the I don't know how to say it, the response from the public with my those videos that I post on Twitch or the ones that I upload on YouTube. The response has been really, really, really good, and I really appreciate it because I was I was not even sure if people would appreciate to see me just doodle around and whatnot, right? So just to know that like people appreciated it and really cool. It really encourages me to keep at it for a good while. Changing some materials here to have some more interesting shiny some of the gray parts. Like I said in the previous video, when there's on the same mesh, when I intend to actually have two different materials, I always try to have some poly paint that separates them. Even if I'm not using colors, I try to have some like tone separations at least. And what I'm doing at the moment is I'm concentrating on the parts that I have not put details or much details, and I'm just checking if I can add some medium uh, mid detail that I call, which is some details that are larger than like bolts and whatnot. Hello, Andre. Thanks, Andy. Welcome. It's cool, Andrew. Thanks, True Ben. Liquid. Also something that people have said that they found interesting about the streams were to see me kind of like experiment with stuff, running into problems and having to find a way to fix them, or just sometimes even like doodle around. There's some stuff like some visual things that I discover sometimes just because I fuck around a bit and I fall on a cool thing. Like I have my own design knowledge or practices, and but sometimes I like surprise myself by finding something new. I like when it happens. I'll be using move brush with backface, focal radius to the max to kind of like move like a big chunk of mesh at the same time like this. Create some cool effects sometimes. I'll often follow it by just like a quick smoothing pass just to round a bit the shapes. Such a small detail, but anyways, it's cool. Like if I take like this part here, say that I just mask the inside, I can do it pretty quickly because I have polygroup. If I just mask a side part, I can just like whoop, move it up like this on the other side as well. Try to do somewhat similarly. There you go, just like some additional detail here. And I tend to actually put all of my details in the same area. Slowed my buzz from the previous session. And I tried to, sometimes I'll just like put the details in the same areas to kind of like, I find that like visually it works better than just like having like details all around. Sometimes it can even just be too much details, but let's just see. It's kind of cool, but maybe I should be gray because it's starting to get pretty much like inside the mesh. And when something is inside the mesh, I like to give it the impression that it's another material. So see, like for this part here, I might actually put it in gray. Before putting it in gray, I'm going to just add like cavity line to simulate that these are two different plates. Actually, be a bit too thin. Let's just do it a teeny bit clean. There you go. Good enough for rock and roll. And let's continue. Cavity lines here, here. On the other side, the same thing. Cavity lines here and here. And then that little dent thing. Not dent, but mold line. Okay, clean enough. Adding the gray color. Oh, using this polypaint. And also that whole polypaint thing is later when I'll be rendering. These I render in Keyshot. I'll be using polypaint as a mean to separate my meshes into different meshes so I can actually assign them materials more easily inside of Keyshot. So that whole polypaint thing is not in vain. So you see, it kind of like gives a feel of, and it's a clip inside of that thing. I like it. The show fabric work today. Well, I mean, it's not really fabric, eh? It's just like some pad with Kevlar. Yeah, there's some folds here. I might show it. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get there today, but it would be a goal. I don't intend to do a render for the stream for the render because it is very tedious, long, and uninteresting. So, but I actually showed my method already on online. If you go on our tutorials, there's I show the tutorials of the wasp, and I show like a quick little process in Keyshot already. So some information is already out there. But doing a stream about rendering is like, the stream would pretty much be me setting up the same old settings as usual, clicking on render, and going to bed. So doesn't make for a very thrilling stream. I was kind of quick on that one. I did too quick, so it's clean. Ooh, there we go. Always keep things on a layer in case I want to erase them later. I try to not have too much layers at the same time. What I just used was a trim hole. Can do some cool stuff with it. Have to experiment a little bit to figure out what it does, but yeah, I like it. I recommend trying it. Time for some quick IMMs. Let's use the same subtool here. There's a kit of IMMs that comes with Zbrush. That's pretty useful. I'm using not the exact same setting as the Wasp. Well, I mean, I re-rendered the Wasp when I did the new Insectoid series, and yeah, it's kind of like it's a bit different. It's not the exact same method, but it's pretty close. It gives enough information or like a vibe of like how I proceed with things, and maybe later I'll just do another like quick written tutorial about like how I rendered these characters. I don't really consider myself good at rendering, but if people are interested in the results that I got, I mean, I'll see. Should keep this information to myself. Right now, I'm really going all around. Like I'm not being methodical right now. I'm really just guiding my eye and my general feeling of things, and I find that it's been like guiding me relatively correctly so far. So why not continue listening to? I'm not sure how much mid detail I want to add on this. I think I'm probably somewhat ready to go into smaller detail. Oh, there's maybe a little bit here near this piece. Actually, this gray piece here, there's a big empty surface here that seemed to actually like serve any purpose to be this empty. Like sometimes having an empty area is good to relax the eye. I feel that this actually piece is not something where like I want the viewer to relax its eye on. So I think I'm gonna probably like figure out some mid detail, some simple extrusion here. Here's the apology is not super good in this area, eh? I actually need to kind of like reformat this mesh. I want to be able to have some not too pixelized details. Thanks for the follow. Bye, Cam. How this looks. Going to need a bit of smoothing here. If I let I smooth this area here so it's actually like has like a slow slope, actually kind of like hides the pixelation problems. You know what? I'll use the lazy way out for the moment because it's not a super important part. And I have this whole mentality of like trying to be the most efficient possible when I can. And one of my things, like it's already like such a long process to do something clean in 3D, and that's why like I think like it's really important to also know how to be efficient and in areas that are not necessarily like super important. I really try to find ways to just go like faster and sometimes the point is to not spend too much time on something that's not really super worth it. It's again my little move brush trick. Oops, forgot the back face mask. Look good. Look good. I just need to dig deeper and be like a more of like a hole. That should be good enough. Need some trim detail around here. And trim detail is basically just detail that are on the edge of something. So, example, so mask brush is, for the moment, it's just default stuff with the mask brush. What rules do I use when designing? That's a 2-week long class to explain that. In my first video, I talk about shape language, where I try to define the primary shapes of my character, kind of like the totem shapes, totem shapes. Like what will be like the archetype that I will be using. If you look at the first video, you can run. You'll see like I explain like those things about these characters. But oh, there's to explain. Talk about design. Like I can explain some design things while I work on what I'm doing right now. But really, truly answer your question, yeah, it requires much more time. Let's use clip circle here. Boom. There we go. Bit of smoothing. There we go. If it has a topology, I think I'm going to add just a small detail here. Side. It's not really helping. It's kind of like showing. I don't know. Actually, not add anything. Good. Yeah, not really. Let's just keep it simple then. See, the resolution is not super good of that part, but that doesn't really bother me because, like I said, not really an important uh, area of the character at the moment. So let's skip ahead on a few things. I'll add some right here. Simple once again. Often I'll mix two alphas together because I find that the quality, like an alpha of a good quality, often is a simple alpha, I find. Plus, I don't really like to necessarily be bogged down by like a really complex design for an alpha. Otherwise, like you kind of like feel that you're always using the same alpha and can kind of like be a bit of a bothering to the eye. But if you mix alphas together, I feel that it kind of like fixes that issue. Too much should be alright. Otherwise, I can always go back and often I'll realize that I've put too much detail on something, and I basically just like fix it later. Yeah. Ooh, as you can see, this thing is offset a bit. That is unfortunate. And by erasing, I mean since I have things on layers, I can always record store a morph target, use the morph brush. There you go. Try to place the same detail. The shape that's kind of like offset to this object here. So what I'll do is I'll probably capitalize on the fact that it's asymmetrical, that it's offset, I mean. And I'll just use asymmetrical placements in this area to kind of like go around this issue of offset. You see, that's a design principle. Somebody was asking me about design principles and such. If if something is kind of like a bit offset, you can always just like hide the fact that it's offset by kind of like making it look intentionally offset. So here the pixelization is starting to show. I still do not want to subdivide for nothing, not for nothing, but I feel like I can, like, that's still, yeah, still going to be okay. Yeah, term hole is pretty cool. Talk is yeah, designing and talking is pretty hard. Readable for this must be so fun. Yeah. Having it baked and look and being in game is probably fun as well. Yeah, Mike Nash was awesome. It was a great inspiration of mine. Yeah, Alex and Ikeda also is pretty good. I'm actually thinking of at some point taking a bit of time during a stream to go over some documents that I've written about some designing principles that I use. It's just I'm kind of like I don't want to make this too much like of a school session. Like for me, like this is like the goal is more to kind of like having fun sculpting alongside with other people, talking about what I'm doing exactly rather than like structuring it too much. So about it. Just like too much detail here. It was starting to get a bit overwhelming. Like I need something right here. I'll just add some small details that I've been using already. It's capsule shapes. They were a bit smaller. I like to somewhat of the same size for the details. Doesn't like it's not crucial, but I do appreciate it. I'll do a quick adjustment to this the shape of that Kevlar thing here. I kind of feel like see, you have like this line going in that direction, this line and going in that direction. It creates a V, and I don't find that it actually works well with the way that I designed that part after all. So I'm gonna go back and maybe smooth that around a bit, kind of like create. It's gonna be all right. It's ready. I think. Yep. Thickness of the part here. It's kind of like impeding on the alpha placement a bit, but we are victorious after all. That's good. I don't need that. I think that would be so. To that. Probably my link character with a lot of hearts. Well, I always prefer sculpting because my approach is more organic in a way, so for me it works better to go that way. How about manage to change things on finished parts? Like if you want to separate part, like if you want a separate part or uh sorry, I'm not sure what you mean, but at any stage my meshes I find that I have enough of the like well if enough knowledge to change the model if needed. That answers the question. Nice robotic buns. Yeah, not bad. There's also some fake panties and pantyhose for those who like it. Thanks for the follow. Or size of those small holes are 24. So now I can place them around. trying to place a mold line in here. I don't know why I'm insisting that much. Really work. No, that does not work. Also, I think I'll actually place them another way so that it kind of like touches the green a little bit. Kind of like make it like if the detail is like, let me see, a bit more interesting. If I have to concept in ZBrush for clients, well, we do. I mean, I do for some of my clients for like collectibles and such. They ask me to conceptualize the character. I do it in ZBrush. Um, but at Chaos Masons, we have actual 2D character artist for our projects. It's 2D is still quicker in my opinion, especially when it goes for exploration. Design, yeah, I find also that it's I have more freedom when I work sculpting like this. This is why I prefer it. Evening Chaos. Hello, Andy Nibbit. Do you always go from clean up blocking to small details for each section at a time, or sometimes the whole body? Oh, and really, I kind of like do a whole section, like I would do like the entire thigh. Um, but also something that I do, and I did not go that way this time, is often I'll start with the head to just basically like figure out the art style that I'll be using. And once that I have the head becomes kind of like uh, my style Bible for the rest of the body. But since I'm pretty much just like rinse and repeating a method here, um, like the same method as the rest of the insectoids, I'm not really like bothering myself too much. But you see, like sometimes what I'll do is like, let's say like this feet was like pretty much the style guide for the rest. I'll take a screenshot of the feet, leave it here, and so I can like move it around and such. I'll also save here. How many happy accidents so far? um, a couple, a couple, yeah. Like I kind of like shoot in the dark a little bit right now, so you might say that those are also happy accidents. Yeah, happy accident is something that happens a lot when I do some like freeform sculpting. This line here is not the cleanest, but it'll do. It's a bit cleaner. Oh, I don't really like what I just did. All right, there we go. Cannot all be good ones. Thanks for the follow. All right, getting there. We are getting there. Perfect. Thanks for the other follow. Yeah, it's if you look at the other video that I posted, I kind of like show how I'm trying to be methodical with cleaning the mesh so it looks clean. We're always looking for 2D character artists. Thanks for the follow, by the way. See, just by adding those little details here and here, I kind of like feel that like all those meshes are kind of like have like this feeling of being more like interconnected with each other. That was the whole goal of like placing those alphas there, is just simulating some like socketing one into each other. Let's try a little bevel right here using our good old clay brush. I think it's good. Do the same thing on the side. Sake of consistency. Even if I can't talk good, I still get followed. Thank you. Hello, Danke Show. Yeah. It was good. Pretty busy. Pretty good. I had shawarma tonight and I have digestive problems right now, but it's all worth it. It's kind of like in South Park when Cartman just cannot stop himself from eating Chipotle even if it's destroying his body. Well, that's the same thing for me and my shawarma. I like my body is like, you're 35 years old, you need to stop that now. And I'm like, no, I don't. Like shawarma was like one of my favorite things. Death by shawarma. That's how I'm gonna end. See like how like this detail and like this line and this line here are kind of like doing a V. It's that's kind of like intentional. I try sometimes to just have like some details, like especially uh recurring details. I try to have them kind of like have like a like say a relation one to the other, so that like if the eye sees both of them, you can see like maybe like a pattern in them. All right. Okay. We're almost there. We're almost there. Try a few more things. Like I think I'd like to have a long detail right here. Let's say if I have an alpha that can actually provide me with that long detail that I'm looking for. This, I think that's it. Love at first sight. Just place it a bit better. Plus it has like a weird outline, this alpha, so I'll need to like clean the outline afterwards. I'll record a state of the mesh as it is, and I know, once again, I know it's kind of like pixelated there, but I just don't give a shit. My hubris is starting to flare out right now. Let's make this gray. Good enough for rock and roll. I'll put a little detail in there as well. Wow. Now we're missing resolution. Holy crap. There you go. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm getting cocky a little bit. Yep. I still have a few ideas of details that I want to place. It is going to be pretty much, let's call it like interim parts, like this actually rim here, this little gray part here. I'm going to come back on it. I might actually add some inside plates, some small inside plates, a bit like this gray thing here. I might actually add some around, kind of like to fill the gaps a little bit. I feel that there's like some holes here. And also some of those like rim detail also need some, so tiny bit of details. And done. this big part here for the big leg. Not sure if I want to really place like details in here. That's kind of like where the eye relaxes already. I don't really like this like round shape though, so really I have it on a layer. Yeah, I have it. So I'll record a morph target of that, and I'll try to give it more of a shape. It's kind of hard. It's not really soften it. Oh, it's good. Kind of better like this already. Fine. And it has a better line flow. Yep, sure. Let's go with that. I'm not even sure if that's going to be good. I have a hard time visualize it in my mind's eye, so I kind of like need to test it. If there's something I want to test, but it's too long to actually to test it for real, sometimes I'll just open Photoshop and kind of like paint over it and see if it actually works. Hmm. Yeah, that might. Nah, it's too much detail. That was not really. It was a failed experiment, but we know knowing is only half the battle. G.I. Joe. I'm pretty silent right now. Actually, I realize there's I know why. It's because I have like 5 things that I want to try. that's cued in my head right now. Like try this, try that, this thing here. And I'm realizing that it's actually taking all my brain power right now. You see, like the fact that, like, for example, like this piece here is offset to that triangle. It's not really going in the middle, right? So if I actually draw like a line in the center of the triangle leading to here, it's kind of like this offset line and this line that is more symmetrical to the triangle are kind of like fighting. Whereas like if I actually place, I kind of like cash in the I try to bank on the fact that it's asymmetrical. I kind of like feel like I win more. Like you see, like this actually works well because I'm using this asymmetry and this asymmetry, or this offset here. That's what I was trying to say earlier, actually. And there you go. I now have a good example. So perfect. Here I might run into a problem because there's not enough resolution since I actually did a mask extrusion. There's ways to go around. They are a bit time consuming. Not that much, but I it wouldn't go faster than the speed that I'm going at right now. So I'm really just going to fix that mesh. If I true, but yeah, I might actually truly need it. All right, so I'll show you something right here. Go back to without the poly paint. And this is, I don't like doing that because I kind of like have to lose a lot in the process. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate this mesh and I'll go and put it this folder here. That's kind of like my backup subtool folder. And I will, first of all, I will save file. We'll open, we'll clone this mesh into its own Z tool. So there we go, here. So what I want to have is I want to gain back of some of the resolution here because I pushed the mesh, right? The goal is going to be to either create a Z remesh and reproject, or I can even just like try to keep the mesh like it was and just kind of like move the topology myself and then reproject. So I'll actually try that first because I don't want to have to reproject and lose like all my poly polygroup information just by kind of like pushing the mesh in a cleaner fashion. Then I can try to reproject it. So distance is not far enough, still not far enough. Go. In a little bit. Reproject. And we're just missing one level of subdivision. Project all. Oop. There you go. And so yeah, so that layer was just to move around. You see how like I got a lot of resolution back just by kind of like yeah, a little workaround. Like I said, that if that didn't work, I could have completely Z remesh this mesh. Oops. Yeah. And now I should have enough resolution. Should have enough resolution. Actually, save another layer. Later, I'll probably clean my my layers so I don't have this many layers. Just to make sure my file is not too big. So now that this is masked, something that I can do is I can actually do a mask by intensity. For that, you need to turn off your layer for a second. Turn off the recording mode on your layer for a second. Then you can go mask by intensity to reapply record. And move the parts you don't want to affect. And you see you can like inflate this part here. Ooh, it's gross. Need to kind of like shrink my mask and create like this extrusion here. It still looks a bit crappy. Maybe I need to smooth it a bit. Wrong button. There we go. Good enough. It just needs maybe like a cavity line and good enough. See, I still have like a bit of a pixelization here, but it might actually hidden enough not really matter. Well, let's read some questions. To mesh for a mesh button on shelf. I I forgot. I forgot what they do. I never used them. The Marco zone. Yes, Medzi. Hey, my pleasure, Dizon. It's what I'm here for. Hey, your shower approach. Oh. Hurt me. I showed it in my video before, so I would invite you to just check the video from I think last week or the week before. Thanks for the follow. It actually kind of looks crappy a little bit now. Boy. Am I going to be okay with this? It's kind of hidden. The perfectionist in me. Not sure if he likes that. The perfectionist in me is here to help me, but it does hinder me sometimes. But you know what? I think it's going to be okay after all. It's going to be okay. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, there we go. Good enough. But you see, like that's what I'm talking about. Like I'm working on trim details. Try to see if like the connections between my plate need like more work. Saw a detail that I don't like. One, you're going away. Poof. There we go. No more. See, that's a mold line that works. Technically, it's not really a mold, but maybe it'll be good in gray also. Just thinking about that, Medzi, but the Marco zone, that would have been an obnoxious but a great title for those stream sessions. Well, I mean, Sculpt Soirée is already obnoxious, so what I'm trying to say is keep those good ideas coming. Marco Zone Sculpt Soirée edition. Sculpt Soirée Marco Zone edition. Eh. I'm going to remove the details here. When I erase detail like this on curved surfaces, I use a mix of smooth and smooth relax. A reminder, smooth relax is when you smooth and you release your finger from the smooth, from the shift button. Because smooth is better to melt details away, and smooth relax is better to keep the shape on which you're working, so kind of like have their purposes. This detail is not well placed after all. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Are we? All right, that's good. That's good, 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 good. All right. So, I kind of like confirm to myself that I'm done. I'll just make sure that there's a material assigned to all the pieces that I consider done. Like you see, if I change the material now, we can see that they're not material that was assigned to them. So kind of like for me, a sign that I was not completely done, but now I consider those pieces completely done. So I'll just assign a material to them. Always best to not have any layers. You see, like there's a couple of like layers that I can merge. Yep. See, like 2 layers for this one is going to be enough. I don't need my smoothing group. Smoothing my storm morph target anymore. This is me much like cleaning. Merge those layers together. This mesh is also done. Those trim detail here, I will finish the details on those. I will check if there's another trim detail needed somewhere. I'll need also to find something for the area here. So you see, like I think that for like the session today, I'll pretty much just have time to finish the leg and get ink. Next week we can start on another part of the character. All right, let's save. Questions. Hi, my pleasure, Donkey Show. The clean zone. Wow, clean zone. That's for some reason it sounds dirty. Why do why use the normal material? Oh, it's just because it's really obvious when I use it. Like if I just change the materials, I can't really see what's doesn't have a material assigned. But if I use a normal material, it kind of like pops in my face that oh those parts here don't have material assigned. 3D Mr. Clean. Plus I'm balding, so it's kind of like fitting, actually. Art won't need much detail to be completely. Like, to be honest, it's like it might even be like too much. Like, I think the only thing I'm going to do. Thanks for the follow. I'm building my army. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Yeah, it's gonna be enough detail for that little thing here. Let's assign it a more metallic material. Boom. Actually, assign the materials right now. I'll pretty much do more of the same here. By Oh, and by the way, just a little tip for those who 3D print. You really need to make your meshes airtight and not have really any like holes and such. So if you look at behind here, there's like actually a hole here. And what I do often is if something is going to be printed, I make sure that there's still my polygroups are still existent, so I can pretty much like select the back face, mask it, maybe blur it a little bit, and then if I actually go and inflate this piece, I'm pretty much like, see, like I'm filling the hole like this. It's an extra step that I don't really force myself to do when I'm in that stage, but like if something is going to be printed, often I'll just go back on my meshes and apply this. Maniac, I started a month ago almost. A little bit more than a month ago. This is my fifth session, I think. Yeah, fifth session, I'm pretty sure. But no, I'm having a lot of fun so far. It's really cool. First, I was pretty anxious to like show my process and everything because like I mean I love people and stuff. I'm to go out. I love to talk to people. I love to exchange and all that stuff. But the reality is that I am an introvert. I am a social introvert, if that's a term that I can use. So, yeah, I really like my tranquility and everything. So I wasn't really sure if I was going to appreciate it, and turns out it's pretty fun. Plus, I mean, I'm working on something else during the day. Doesn't feel like I need to hold on to make a character because I need to show it during the stream. I have my stuff that I work on during the day, and on Wednesdays continue this character. So of course, like this character is going at like at snail speed right now to be completed. A character like this normally, like within like a week or two, it's completed. Um, but it's fine. It's actually it's fun to tackle this character this way. It's very different. I appreciate it. How did I decide to start streaming? Because one of my friend bugged the shit out of me until I decided to do it. Actually, that's one reason. The other reason is because I uh, I love to share my knowledge and everything, but I just don't have the time to make a tutorial. It's way too much investment. I mean, I became a father a year and a half ago, and God knows that kid is very time consuming. So doing a tutorial, which is also very time consuming, at some point, it's like, well, I mean, there's so much I can do. I mean, I am business owner, art director, business manager at Chaos Masons. I have this stream that I want to do. I have my family to take care of. So at some point, it's like, yeah, it's, I have to make a few choices. And although I would love to do everything, can't really. But I figured out that if I stream something like that, I don't need to do editing. I don't need to do any of that kind of stuff. So I can really focus on just completing this character and showing it online. So even if it kind of like I'm letting people in my sanctuary by showing you the way that I work, at least it gives somewhat of a tutorial to people that are looking for one. For the follow. All right. So now the last thing that I wanted to do here is making sure that at the back here I saw some empty spaces that I find don't mesh well. So I'll just see if I actually can add some border, some thickness. I'll actually save my file. Yeah, Cedric wants to stream at some point. Cedric is actually working on a tutorial, so he's participating into the learning experience, but in a different way. Yeah, plus I can answer questions. I uh, the only thing that's left for me to be an affiliate is just to stream. Like I don't really know the rules. It's like I need to do like 7 days in a month, but I'm not sure if they mean the 7 days of the week. So I need to figure that out. But it's the 7 day thing that I'm missing to be an affiliate. At some point I'll figure it out, I guess. think you just need to stream 7 times within 30 days. Yeah, but that's the thing is I stream once per week, which makes for 4 times in 30 days. So like I'll need to find like extra time to be able to do 7 in 30 days in order to get the affiliate thing. And to be honest, for the moment, I could not be bothered with getting that affiliate thing. Although I mean I want it, but like I kind of almost feel like I should send I should send Twitch an email, be like, come on guys, just give me the affiliate. Come on. The power of come on. 7 days within the 30-day period. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, it got me by the balls. Yeah, I could do the 5 minute thing. At some point, if it really comes down to it, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Ease people a little bit. I'm not sure of all the advantages to be affiliate, to be honest. I just was told to try to do it. I could stream a game. Actually, I don't have any games to stream right now, unfortunately. I just finished GTA 5. I was playing that a little bit. Like I need like a detail here, but I don't want to. I think I'll just do something cheap because there's not much resolution on that mesh, and I don't want to. I want to spend too much time on. Come on. That's something. I'll just place something stupid there. Subtool. I'll do a little bit of Z modeler really quickly. Get some bevel in there. Cavity lines, think complex, super basic. Some polygroup for creasings. No, that's dumb. I should not say dumb, but I cannot. No problem, Medzi. Have a good soiree. Yeah, actually, I appreciate to see you here. Nothing installed from Microsoft Blizzard. Nothing installed. I'm not sure what you are asking. Thanks, Jeff and Company. Kind of not. Whatever. Did it enough. Kind of like random details, but it's working well enough to give that like noisy. I don't really like what I just did, but you know what? I'm gonna let it go for the moment. I feel like I need to move on. Right. Already 11. I want to finish a little something before I call it done for tonight. What I'll do is gonna require another subtool, but I'm gonna do it really quickly. But like since I have polygroup activated, mask like parts of it, and I can do like an inflate to get like a quick like border detail in some areas, and I think I'll be using that to create kind of like a trim detail on some plates that I find that don't really have enough at the moment. Uh, but I saved a star morph target before because I don't think I'm going to want that everywhere. Plus also to have it done in gray. So be like I really give it like that gray thickness, and with the morph brush, I'm going to oops and do a star morph target, but since I have the layer, I can do it deactivate it, deactivating the layer, activating star morph target. Now with the morph brush, with the color on, I can revert while drawing back in. Just a little additional trim detail. Not gonna want it everywhere though. I could go even further and add a cavity line right before this trim. I mean, like this, something like this. But I don't think that I'm really going to need it. I think people are gonna notice. Push the butt muscles side here. Only other subtool that I might need trim detail is this one here. Well, first of all, this one I'm going to add. I'm going to push the inside bit, inside layer a little bit, just in case ever print. It'll have a thickness. Right, and now on to the second artifact right here. Pistol Pete. Mon petit haïssable. Now, morph target back. Green. My poly paint was a bit too strong. I'll apply the poly paint so it doesn't bleed on the thickness. Yeah, and now we're gold. Keep the trim detail here. En forme, caporal chef. Pretty tired actually. I didn't sleep much last night, so I'll definitely need to go to bed soon. Yeah, I ended up not really keeping a lot of that trim detail around this piece after all. Hmm. Yeah, guys, I was not really talkative for this session. I think it's because I was tired. Thanks, Avade again. Jazzy. Sculpt is doing a lot of talking. Thanks. Thanks. Makes me feel better. Using a bit of depth mask here. Place this alpha. And I don't like the alpha, so screw it. Right. Okay. Okay. Are we done? Are we actually done? Back the subtools here. Are we done with the leg? Actually, you know what? To really answer this question, I'll need to probably look at it tomorrow because I've been looking at that model for an awfully long time right now. But no, I don't know. I think good. I think we're good. Okay, we are good. Yep, my eye's having a good time looking at the model, so that's a good sign. Oh, actually, I saw something here. There's like a hole here that like eventually if I would print, I would need to fill, but probably an easy way to do it. I don't feel like doing it right now. I don't feel like filling. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? I think. Done, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Yeah, let's call that a leg. So yeah, next time I'll probably be working on either the body or the arm, something like that. It's going to be a lot of rinse and repeat in the next sessions. Hopefully, people will appreciate it. I might maybe, if I have some free time, I might like finish maybe the arm like on my own, just to avoid repeating too much stuff. Or maybe I'll leave it for here. Even if I'm repeating myself, maybe some people will appreciate it. All right, let's save that. All right. The silences are like jazz to my ears. Oh, deep lore StarCraft reference, eh? Thanks, Peter. I appreciate it. Il est pas mal fin. Congrats on the leg completion. Yeah, I should have a fucking Xbox achievement for that. But no, yeah, it was fun. It was cool. I'll definitely call that a night. I am exhausted, and yeah, time to hit the sack. So yeah, I hope that I hope you had fun. I hope you had a great time. No, yeah, I hope you had fun. That was a pretty cool thing. I'm gonna continue doing that. Thanks for the follow, and I'm going to wish all of you a good soiree, and take care, everyone. Good one.